Hello, I am God and I go by the name Banafshe or Nasha in this particular form. Just a little introduction for those of you who are seeing me for the first time. I am God. It's been almost impossible today recording a video, so many distractions. I've been trying to do it since morning and it's just not happened. Let's hope it happens this time. Right to the topic. Speed up. Talking to myself there. I've come to talk about the chaos that's happening out there in the world, in so many different corners of the world. The wars, the conflicts, you name it, all this darkness that's unfolding before our eyes. With the latest news regarding Israel attacking Iran, Iran retaliating, and potentially the two of them going into a war. I mean, it's not the first time we hear or see something like this happen, is it? So much of that is happening around the world, so much of it. And I've come here to say that everything that's happening, as sad and as heartbreaking they are God's doings. Yeah. I know this is going to provoke a lot of anger, probably in so many people, and it can be quite aggravating. Is that the right word? Hopefully. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Everything is God's doing. Nothing is out of God's control. It's not like God has lost control. Things has slipped through his hands because by mistakenly, he gave off his I don't really like to use the word his because God is not a he, alright? Neither is it a she. God doesn't have a gender. Anyways, let's say it, okay? So it's not like God has given its power away to something else, something other than itself, okay? Or someone other than itself, because such thing doesn't exist. There is no else, there is no other. Everything is God. And I keep saying this, and I feel like I'm gonna have to keep repeating it in every video. Everything is God. Every single form of existence is God. I'm God, you're God. All of our experiences are God. Everything that's unfolding before our eyes, they're all God, okay? Including all the chaos and all the good things that's happening on the other side of the chaos. Yeah, everything is God. Okay, now I understand that some of you, like I said, you're gonna feel angry hearing that, because, well, a lot of us have this understanding, have this image of God as this merciful father sitting up there looking over everything. And so there comes the confusion when we see wars and conflicts and, you know, all this cruelty before our eyes. We then get confused, thinking, why is our Father allowing for all this darkness and all this cruelty to take place? Why isn't God stopping these things from happening? And I think the root of that confusion and the root of those questionings and the root of the anger that we end up feeling inside of us towards God, okay, the source of existence, whatever you want to call it, is our perspective of God, our understanding of God, thinking God is a merciful father. Yeah, not. God is everything, okay? And its existence, God's existence and God's experience of itself is very much dependent on the existence of polarities, darkness and light, cruelty and kindness, okay? These polarities, they must, I mean, they do, okay, coexist at all times. And they dance with each other and they swap places. Just in the same way, in 24 hours, we see the night giving its place to day to light, and then vice versa. Okay, that's just the nature of existence. That's just the nature of God. Okay, yes, polarities, darkness, cruelty, kindness, light, these exist and coexist, and so they should. Okay, I'm going to refer to one of Alan Watts' quotes. I absolutely adore Alan Watts. I think he was definitely an absolute genius, one of a kind, really. I am Alan Watts. If you think about it, I'm all that's ever been. So yes, Alan Watts. Alan Watts is speaking. I am Alan Watts. I love Alan Watts. Alan Watts is me. Anyways, back here, Nasha. Back here. What was it? His quote that says, "Disorder is essential for the manifestation of order." Pay attention there. He's basically saying the same thing as I did just a minute ago about the polarities having to coexist, okay, in order for God to experience itself. Disorder is essential for the manifestation of order. Darkness is essential for the manifestation of light. Okay, so all that's happening, okay, it's not like it's all out of God's hands. Yeah, other beings have taken over and they've allowed for this cruelty to take place, and God doesn't know how to fucking clear that up or how to sort it out. No, it's not like that, okay? It's all God's doing, it's all God's choices. And once we really come to understand the basic of existence, the nature of existence, and its dependence on the existence of polarities, okay, we then let go a little bit, trust a little bit more, okay, feel a little bit less anger and agitation. We question less and we are less confused because we know that there is an unbeatable intelligence and wisdom behind all that unfolds before our eyes. And there is no way in hell that a mistake could be taking place. You see, a lot of us get into this, we get this delusional idea of having come here to save the world, having come here to save the earth. You see, this whole saving idea, and I've talked about it in my other videos, it implies the existence of some sort of mistake, of lack of control, okay? Which in reality is not true, is it? Like I said, everything is God. God is in control. Nothing is outside of God's control. Everything is God's doing, okay? And there is no mistake considering its magnificent intelligence. I really don't know what other words to use to describe its intelligence. The two words that keep coming to my mind is magnificent and unbeatable. If you can think of any other words, please feel free to help out. All right, the English is fucking up again. All right, so yes, darling, nothing requires saving, okay? Even the earth, and I've said this before, the earth is aware of what's happening to it, and is even aware of what's due to be happened to it. Due to happen to it. I think that's better. Okay, earth has wisdom, yes, earth has intelligence, and earth has faith in its own wisdom. Yes, it does. Okay, now this is the thing. Okay, so God, yeah, decides to play out the role of some idiots, yeah, that use political and religious, quite fucked up reasons, yeah, for starting off a war. And that's God's doing. That's God playing the role of those, okay? That's God enacting those decisions, okay, those idiotic decisions, because God chooses to play as an idiot in some forms, in some avatars, and then in some other avatars decides to play the role of a peacemaker, okay, or the role of an enlightened being, okay. It's all God's doing. It's all God's doing. I guess what I want to really say here is that at times like this, when things get dark, when we see so much cruelty before our eyes and start to feel angry, and we start to allow that darkness to slowly come through to us and infiltrate us, is that the right word? Hopefully. At times like this, perhaps the best thing we can do as a favor to ourselves, oh my God, I'm so tired, come on words, and as a favor to existence in general, is to hold on tight, real tight, to that treasure that exists within every single one of us, and that's God pretending that it's not God, that treasure. Yeah, hold on to it, and trust is wisdom. Trust is wisdom in everything that unfolds before our eyes, and know that there is a reason behind it all. Oh, darkness must unfold in order for light to manifest. Okay, so that's that. I think I've made my point. That's turning out to be quite a long video, so let's just leave it there. Have a lovely evening. I go to rest and have some coffee.